Welcome everyone in live to the virtual Talladega Superspeedway. It's a Friday night, and that means it's the Dega Pros Stars and Stripes Series. A big racing crowd here tonight, not only at Talladega, but also on the track, as we look forward to some really good racing action here on the high banks of Talladega Superspeedway. And we bring up that race info here on your screen as we go 40 laps here tonight in an NASCAR Next Gen car. 50% fuel, one set of tires, no fast repairs for these drivers, and one green, white checkered if we need it. Temperature outside 65 degrees and clear. Track temp, though, it's cranked up here tonight, 119 degrees. As we get set for a great night here of racing, as we'll go here trackside momentarily, and we'll bring up this starting lineup here in a second as well, and get your grid here. These drivers still qualifying on the track right now. We do have a few drivers still getting their qualifying laps in, and one of those drivers right here, this is Sean Corbett, who is getting his laps in here tonight, racing for Dega Pros. So Sean Corbett, we'll see where he will start tonight's race. You are watching the Dega Pros Stars and Stripes Series. We're going to carry some onboard cameras here tonight as well. We have Max Dinah in the house, Jackson Buys, Charlie Morgan, and Matthew Baker. So we do look forward to bringing those drivers, and possibly some of them here up into the booth as well tonight. As we do have Josh McCullough, who just finished his lap. We got Josh Bonwell on the track as well. As qualifying will be coming to an end here momentarily. And we'll also here tonight, we will be joined in the booth by Jess. So we'll have a little special guest here on a Friday night to lend a little hand here for the Dega Pros Stars and Stripes Series. And don't forget, last night, the PGR eSports March Madness round of 32 began. And wow, what upsets we had in. Michael Guest was the only seed to survive in the bottom left-hand side of the bracket. Cody Neagles, a big name driver, out this year. He was the 4th seed. So already some bracket busters heading into next week's round of 16. So we look forward to continuing to watch the March Madness event every Thursday night. But here on Friday nights, it's the Dega Pro Series. And tonight, Talladega Superspeedway takes center stage. We'll bring up that race flyer as well. And you can see these drivers here tonight. We are over the 30 entry on that flyer. So those payouts are actually going to be going up here tonight. We'll pay out the top 6 positions. And the participation here has been really, really good on Friday nights, and we are glad to see it, as this series really taking flight right now. And don't forget to head over to simrapmarket.com and get 10% off your first purchase, and with the code PGR eSports. And I'll be your host here tonight, Michael Triscaro. Man, last Friday night was a really good race, so we're hoping we can repeat that here tonight. We'll head down here to the grid shortly. Apologies for the cameras. We're having a little technical difficulties with the driver cams that happened last night as well. Everyone hidden on my end, and for some reason, of course, they are not hidden on your screen. So we'll try to navigate that here tonight and make sure we don't have any issues with that. As we get set for racing here, waiting for the drivers to get on the grid. It looks like they're going to be wrapping up here with their qualifying efforts here tonight. Looks like Kenny McCullough possibly will be on the pole. here at Talladega. So we'll momentarily await here these drivers, like I said, to get on the pole. Or sorry, on the grid.
Okay.
Now we are set here as the drivers now on the grid for tonight's race. We'll bring up your starting positions here tonight and rolling off on row number 1, starting in the first position here tonight, Kenny McCullough Jr. with a great qualifying effort to his outside. A man that is used to being here on the front row, and that is the number 6, Cody Niegels, who will roll off in second. On row number 2 here tonight, starting in third, will be the 45 machine of Sean Corbett. And to his outside, starting in fourth, will be Nathan Harper. On row number 3 here tonight, starting in fifth, will be Malik Ray. And to his outside, starting in sixth, Justin Melikar. Rolling off on row number 4, starting in seventh tonight, Dylan Jones. His outside, the 02 of Richard Elliott. Rolling off on row number 5, starting in ninth, the number 5, machine of Matthew Baker. To his outside, rolling off in 10th, Jackson Buys. Rolling off on row number 6 tonight, starting 11th. It'll be a new driver to NBG's development team. That's the number 78 of J.R. Miller. To his outside and starting 12th will be Aubrey Thompson. Rolling off on row number 7, starting in 13th, Josh Bonwell. Starting in 14th here tonight, Carson Freeman. Rolling off on row number 8, starting in 15th, Matthew Patton. To his outside, starting in 16th, Cameron Craighead. Rolling off on row number 9, starting in 17th, Danny Barnes. To his outside, starting in 18th, Charlie Morgan. Rolling off on row number 10, starting in 19th, Max Steinda. To his outside, starting in 20th, that's Josh McCullough. Rolling off on row number 11, starting 21st, Jimmy Reynolds. To his outside, starting in 22nd, Josh Cruz. Rolling off on row number 12, starting in 23rd, Larry McDonald. To his outside, starting 24th tonight, Ricky Stewart. Rolling off in 25th position on row number 13, Tim White. To his outside, starting in 26th, Brian Kaiser. Rolling off on row number 14 here tonight, starting 27, Tucker McClendon. His outside, starting in 28th, Cooper Goodwin. Rolling off on row 15, starting 29th, Joe Horta. Starting 30th here tonight, Dustin Cohen. Rolling off on row 16, position 31 here tonight, Daniel Falkingham. To his outside, starting in 32nd, Austin Green. Rolling off in the 17th row, Chase Mastretta and Andrew Zanto. Row number 18, it's Joey Allen and Mark Fondell. Rolling off on row 19, starting 37th, it's Neil Meadows. As we get set to go green flag racing here for 40 laps at Talladega. As Kenny McCullough Jr., Cody Niegels lead him to the restart zone for the first time tonight. The green flag in the air. Lap number 1 in the books, and already 3 wide racing throughout the field. Oh, we got a wreck. Big wreck on the racetrack. And a bunch of cars here involved. And wow, this is the big one on lap number 1. Cars all over the place. Unbelievable. And how many cars collected in this one? Oh my God, it's most of the field coming off the banking.
Quite a few cars.
Yes, it did, as I'm now joined by Jess here tonight. And Jess, tell you what, it didn't take long, and already a big wreck tonight.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming this soon. There's a lot of good drivers out there.
There absolutely is. We're actually going to go back here and go to the replay and try to find out what happened here. But wow, carnage strikes early. I will believe Justin Melikar is your leader at the moment, but a ton of cars torn up in this one. And the Flyers said it, no fast repairs here tonight. So that will definitely affect a lot of the drivers in this field. Wow, Cody Niegels, one of the favorites. He's coming to pit late. A ton of damage. And if you remember last night, it was Cody Niegels who is already out of SummerSlam. March Madness. He wasn't even able to finish the race. So 2 nights in a row now. We'll see if Cody can make a comeback, but it is not looking good for the number 6 machine here tonight. Just a massive amount of damage for Cody Niegels. There's a couple others on pit lane as well as we get set to go back to this yellow flag here. And keep an eye. It's going to start here in the front of your field as the 07 of Harper pushes Richard Elliott. He's going to turn him here in the corner. They're going to break loose here. And they are all going to stack up. Wow, hard hit for Matthew Patton. I believe Charlie Morgan possibly involved. Josh McCullough farther back. Dude, Daniel Falkingham gets turned. I mean, they are scattering all over this racetrack. I can't even begin to count how many cars. Now, a lot of cars did avoid the wreck by going on the apron in the grass. It looks like Max Dinda went for a ride in the grass himself. We'll back this up here and try to get another view here. It did start, though, up front around Richard Elliott and Nathan Harper. And we're going to ride right here. We're going to keep an eye here. Keep an eye on the 07. You see Richard Elliott right above. Richard Elliott's going to clear here into, I believe this is turn number 1. And yeah, Richard's not clear. That's the problem. So Richard Elliott not clear. And he tunnel visions down. Nathan Harper's there. So no fault to Nathan Harper. But Richard Elliott here for sure causes the first accident tonight. And watch how big this is. Just calamity behind. Has a lot of cars also scattering all over the racetrack. And wow, just Just a big one here tonight, and a couple drivers, like we said, Cody Niegels, definitely going to be hurting here the rest of tonight's race.
It's way too early to use a fast repair. How many fast repairs do they have?
Yeah, so tonight, no fast repairs, I do believe, in tonight's race. So, it's, they're not really getting aggressive there. If you watch it, back, and Jess, we see it all the time. We see drivers, and Richard Elliott, he's a great driver. He doesn't, make too many mistakes, but, it's hard sometimes. You're following a couple cars in front of you, and sometimes you get a little tunnel visioned. Richard Elliott goes to make that move down to the bottom as he's following the two cars ahead of him. And unfortunately, Nathan Harper's there and he can't check up. He's getting pushed from behind. And when Richard Elliott comes down, there's just nothing Harper can do at that point. So Richard Elliott, I believe, sitting on pit lane, and some issues, obviously, some damage for Richard Elliott. I would assume a penalty as well, as Richard Elliott will see if he's able to get back into this race. But yeah, Jess, just a tunnel vision there for the O2, I believe.
Yeah, sometimes you get sucked in that draft too, either way, and then you can get pulled. But he clearly didn't have enough room to get down.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're gonna go back up here to the front of the field. I believe Jackson Bye's now gonna be your leader. Pace car lights still on, Jess. So we're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back here live on the PGR eSports Network. Here live at Talladega as the first caution here will come to an end. And right now it's Jackson Bye's up front with Justin Mellicar. Like I said, apologies here tonight for the camera feeds. We're having some issues with the cameras, the in-car cameras, that is. You see a bunch of them there on your screen. You're really not supposed to be seeing any at the moment. So we'll try to get those fixed here momentarily. And we'll get those off the screen right there, and we'll try to work those into the broadcast here tonight. Unfortunately, right now, like I said, definitely not going to be working at the moment. Nonetheless, we are ready to go back. Green flag racing here. A big caution on lap number 1. And Cody Niegels is going to be the one hurting the most here tonight. He's back in 34th position at the moment. 32 spots down from that front row starting spot. Still on pit lane. He might be done. But here goes the pace car to pit lane as Jackson Bye's hits the tri-oval with Justin Mellicar, Dylan Jones, Kenny McCullough Jr., Carson Freeman. That's your top 5. Green flag back in the air. We'll see if these drivers, I know, start to calm down a little bit. I know they were really getting crazy there. It was more of a mistake on the O2 of Richard Elliott, but we did see 3 wide on lap number 1, and they're going to go 3 wide here to start this next stint here as Jackson Bye's gets a big run down the backstretch. Here comes Matthew Baker on the bottom. He's the number 5 for PGR and NBG. Also sporting that ERA logo on the front, as ERA will make a comeback to the racing community here next week with the Omega Cup. Leading that middle lane, it's going to be Dylan Jones in the 0-1-1 as he is getting pushed here by the 4 of Carson Freeman. For the most part now 2x2. We got a little bit 3 wide farther back. But here into turn number 1, it looks like Dylan Jones will clear in front of Jackson Buys. And Dylan Jones to the lead. Already a lot of pushing and shoving here. 1 car underneath the apron at the moment. As Matthew Baker works on the back of Buys, here comes Austin Green as well. Up to the 7th position is Green. He's up 25 positions, the biggest mover so far in the race. But Freeman is a door open on the outside. It's now closed by Dylan Jones as he continues to control the lane. A little bit farther back, Malik Ray looks to make his way to the front. He's driving the Bud 8 here tonight. Behind Sean Corbett. Behind him, it's Josh Bonwell. A healthy field, like we said, at the drop of the green flag. I believe 37-ish drivers here in tonight's field. As down the backstretch we go. A little bit of snaking formation there up front. And remember, these races on Friday nights are a lot shorter than most. 40 laps, so you cannot waste time at all here tonight. Justin Mellicar to the bottom of the racetrack. Side by side we stay. As drivers still feeling one another out. We are 8 laps in of 40 here in the Stars and Stripes series. Mellicar to the top. As that top lane right now looks to be the lane that's faster. We'll see how that continues throughout the race.
Looks like the low line's kind of losing some momentum a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of momentum loss there for that lane, without a doubt. We still work the cameras here. Just having so much issues with the cameras tonight, and we do apologize for that. We'll try to get those fixed here momentarily. It's hard to do while we're already getting going here, so we'll just remove them for the time being, trying to get Matthew Baker up there and a couple others. As Kenny McCullough Jr. now, your pole sitter, to the lead. Well, right on board here with Danny Barnes. We're now 3 wide there in the middle. Barnes just ahead of it in the number 7 car. He's going to be there on the bottom. As it Barnes. Right behind Austin Green. Above him, the 15 of Brian Kaiser. And Barnes right now in a safe spot, you would think. Malik Ray now. Malik Ray on the move. Currently up to the 9th position. 4 spots down. Malik Ray, you can see it there. Almost gets into Kaiser and turns the 15. He's now put 3 wide. Falkingham to the outside. Action starting to pick up here as Falkingham takes the spot away from Malik Ray. And Malik Ray, a close call here early. 30 laps to go now. 10 in the books. And another driver coming up, and I believe I heard from a birdie before the race, Tucker McClendon, new to Team PGR eSports, led by Mike Davenport, as Tucker McClendon. Ooh, we're going to have a big wreck. Up in the front, it's Justin Mellicar. Mark Vondel's going to slide, so is Andrew Zanto. Vondel's into the inside wall. I believe Charlie Morgan involved as well. And good looking out there, Jess. Another big wreck. We'll have to go back here. See, Mark Vondel, the 59, has a ton of damage. And a big one there. And that's 2 big ones here tonight, Jess, so far.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
Well, back up front here, Dylan Jones is your leader. He's going to pick up the pace car. It's Kenny McCullough Jr., Jackson Buys, Austin Green, and Carson Freeman, your current top 5. As we go back here momentarily to the race replay and try to get a gauge here of what started the second yellow flag here tonight. Like we said, it was another big accident here, and we're going to see it right here on your replay. It's the Simrat Market replay as Mellicar is turned from Carson Freeman. And man, all the way up into the wall is Justin Mellicar. They're going to start stacking up. Bondell gets turned. Morgan gets turned. Corbett's not going to break. He's going to come in and get Morgan from behind. Oh, another driver involved. It's the Home Depot car. It's the 020 of Dustin Cohen. So I'm not sure some of these drivers not getting on their brakes fast enough, and that's going to cost them a little bit here. As we had some extracurriculars there after the initial yellow flew. So interesting here. We'll go back and watch it again. I'll get a little different vantage point here. Drop it back just a little bit here. And there it is. There's the offset push. They get a little offset. Freeman drives right through. Baker's behind there, but Baker's lifting. There goes Mellicar into the outside fence. And like we said, they're just going to start panicking behind. Nowhere to really go for some of these drivers. Like Mark Vondell, Morgan, and Corbett. This is really... Watch this again in real time here. And just... Guy's not on the brakes quick enough, and that's what gets him cut up here. Mark Vondell, a ton of damage as he hits the inside fence. As we go back live here. And a bunch of cars obviously fixing damage. Well, we have one more second here. We'll take another quick break. We'll try to get the in-car cameras working here before we go back green. Stick with us here live on the PGR eSports Network. All right, back here live at Talladega as the pace car is going to hit pit lane once again. Jackson buys Dylan Jones, set to lead him down to the green flag here as we hit the tri-oval. As we get set here, as we hit that restart zone and the green flag being shown in the air once again. Has a big jump here for Jackson buys. Matthew Baker now up to the 3rd position in the number 5. With 26 laps to go here at Talladega. Freeman now up to 4th, and we're going to be pushing hard here on exit. 2 by 2 here in the front of the field. No one giving an inch here tonight. 2 big ones to, well, kind of start tonight's race as we approach the halfway point. Down the backstretch we go. Now these drivers look to be chilling just a little bit. We'll see how this all ends up. Matthew Baker, though, right now pushing hard to the front. He still is the winningest driver here, Jess, in the Stars and Stripes series. You see him here on your screen as the number 5 of Matthew Baker. Now looks to get to the lead. He's going to try to clear here to Dylan Jones, his teammate. And he's getting shoved by Malik Ray. He's sandwiched in between 2 teammates right now. He's clear to go down. He does, and he goes back up in front of Ray. And some tense moments there for the number 5. It kind of stacks up that middle lane just a bit.
That was close.
Yeah, Buys right now controlling the lanes. Dylan Jones, though, he's going to get a little surge here. And Charlie Morgan's going to try to fight back here. As Charlie Morgan currently in the 19th position. We saw him in an incident earlier as well. He goes to the outside. And he's got some drafting help. So a 3-car tango here in the high lane. He's got J.R. Miller. Oh, J.R. Miller's going to come down the racetrack, nearly getting Austin Green. They get back too wide, so a close call here in the back. Jess, we've seen a lot of close calls. These next-gen cars right now, they're generating some big runs, it seems, in this field. And these drivers really, right now, it just seems like they can't check up enough.
Yeah, there's been a couple pretty good saves, actually. But once you get that draft, you know, it's hard not to check up really hard, but...
Well, 3 wide right here.
You can't do that either, because then you're going to cause a wreck.
Yeah, absolutely. And 3 wide right here. Sorry, not to cut you off. Whoa, we got almost trouble here on the bottom with Dynda. But all the way up top, it's J.R. Miller. He leads that 3rd lane with Charlie Morgan. Here comes the 44 of Josh Cruz. Andrew Zanto as well. So just with 4 cars, they're making it work right now. They're making some steam as we come off turn number 2. We'll see if they can continue it down the backstretch. Tucker McClendon's actually going to give them some space. Malik Ray clears to the bottom. Matthew Baker leads the middle. We're 3 wide down the backstretch.
They are pushing hard on that outside lane.
Yeah, they've really made up a lot of ground here. And, man, all the way, I mean, really it started into turn 1, and they made it work all the way down the backstretch. J.R. Miller, new leader in town. The number 78, trying to make a name for himself with his new team. Here comes Matthew Baker around the outside with Tucker McClendon. And right now, we are just seeing big runs come. We have a wreck farther back in the pack. We'll see if a caution comes out. Right now, we stay green. They're going to come back up into the field. And the caution flag will fly. And we'll get our 3rd caution of the night. It looks like Jimmy Reynolds involved. There's the 3rd caution flag. Some very aggressive racing here tonight. Malik Ray now leads it up front. It's Jackson Buys behind him, his teammate. J.R. Miller, we saw him make a huge surge to the front there and lead. He's up to 3rd. Dylan Jones is in 4th. Charlie Morgan up 13 spots. And remember, he was also involved in an early incident. He's now up to 5th. So we'll go back here and see what brought out the yellow flag. And I think it's going to happen farther back. Josh Bonwell goes down. He's actually going to get into Kenny McCullough. I believe Kenny was just trying to avoid it. And then they all come together here and go up into the racetrack. Wow. We'll have to see what happened here. Let's go back and look at this again. Oh, it's going to start far. It's going to actually just, it's going to start in the tri-oval. Keep an eye on the 56. He is actually not clear, and he's going to keep pinching Austin Green down. Austin Green has nowhere to go. So Austin Green ends up turning him. Not his fault at all. It checks up Josh McCullough. You see Kenny McCullough jump down to avoid it, thinking he's in a great spot. But Bonwell loses it in front of Green, and he comes all the way down as McCullough's coming up. And Kenny did everything he could do, and it just still didn't matter, unfortunately, for McCullough. They're going to all come back together here. And that's when they all come back up into the racetrack, unfortunately. I believe Jimmy Reynolds, that's where he gets involved in this. As he's turned around sideways, that Reynolds wrap Ford Mustang. And some smoke flying right there. So that's what brings out our third caution flag of tonight's race. We'll go back live as Malik Gray will lead the field down to pit lane.
Did you say before that this was Miller's first night racing?
So this is J.R. Miller's first night racing under a new team. So that's what we're looking forward to seeing here, how he's going to be doing here with his new team. As you see these drivers now on the jack stand, some of them getting some right side Goodyear tires, some just fuel only, as Malik Ray is off and running first, as is Jackson Byes behind him. J.R. Miller's coming off pit lane as well now, so we'll see if this stop is able to get these drivers to the end. Remember, tonight, 50% fuel, I do believe, in these next-gen cars. We'll see. We'll see if we can get an interview, too. Jess, why not? Let's try to dial someone up here in the booth. Let's look and see who we can bring in. We got a couple guys on cameras here tonight. We'll see if we can bring in Charlie Morgan. See where he is at on the track right now. It looks like he's in the 12th position. So see if we can dial up Charlie Morgan here and get a word with him. And we can't drag him, unfortunately. He's not in. We can't drag these drivers. They're not in the drag channel at the moment. We'll see if we can get a quick word with John Ward, though, and see if we can do that. So stand by right here. We'll see if we get a quick word with Charlie Morgan. Well, we're going to get Charlie Morgan up here in just a second. I believe he is here. We'll see if he has a copy. Charlie Morgan, you have a copy?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, man. Well, the 69 Toyota Camry machine here for the Dega Pro Racing team. Up this 12th position right now. That's 6 spots up from your starting spot, but you had to overcome a little bit of adversity here in the beginning of the race. Tell us about that. I know you're trying to claw your way back here tonight. And you got up front there momentarily, and then I don't know if what strategy you were on with the pit and the fuel and all that, but walk us through your race so far.
It's been an eventful race so far. Just trying to keep the car clean and stay out of as much wrecks as I can. Gave up a little track position there. I was talking to my crew chief. We decided to take 4 tires. He's on top of the box, so went ahead and just made that choice. So we'll see what happens here and work our way to the front again.
Yeah, Charlie, it's been nice to have you as well, like in the money racing community. And I don't know, tell us about your time. I know you haven't been a part of the community for long, but how are you enjoying it so far?
Oh, I'm enjoying it a lot, really. The only way to get good on these plate tracks is run with some of the best in the business. So that's what I've been trying to do every week. Is every chance I get a chance to run is just, run with the guys and just learn what I can. I've had my share of. You learn when to do and what not to do as you get put in those situations.
Well, Charlie, we're going to see if you can make your way up here tonight. Some big payouts on the line. Definitely well over the flyer position here tonight. We'll see if that Dega Pro 69 Toyota can get the victory lane.
All right, thank y'all.
Good luck out there, Morgan.
All right, thank you.
Charlie Morgan here. As we see if Charlie Morgan's got that fish tank behind him. A really cool setup there over at the Charlie Morgan house. And his rig looks really cool. And we'll see Jess if he can find a way tonight to get the job done for the first time. Here we go. We're going to get set to go back racing here as the third caution flag comes to a close. It's Malik Ray in the front with teammate Jackson Buys. That's your front row here as the pace car's going to head off on to pit lane once again. We'll get a race recap here as well tonight. It's lap 22. We're going to be 23 of 40 here on the restart. The leader, Malik Ray. There's been 3 cautions for 9 laps and 6 lead changes. To the restart zone again. Green flag back in the air. Great push out front for Malik Ray with his teammate. But here comes another guy, the number 48, Max Steinda. And I am sponsoring him here tonight, so I'd love to see the 48 finish up front. He's getting pushed by Falkingham as that high lane once again working. Here comes the third lane, though, a little bit farther back, and that is led by the 69 of Morgan. Behind him, it's Matthew Baker and Tucker McClendon. Andrew Zanto making his way through the field as well. One off, unfortunately, I jinxed him. It's Max Steinda. He's on the apron. He's losing all his track position. He's going to have to go all the way to the back. Hope he can stay in this draft, Jess. And man, I think I jinxed the number 48 right there.
I think you did too. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, unfortunate there for Max Steinda. He is out of line. We're going to watch it. That was a little bit earlier, so we're going to go back live here. Sorry about that. We're going to get back here up front. It's Malik Ray, still your leader. And single file now here in the front. Josh Cruz has made an appearance to the top 4. Baker now to the bottom. Morgan's going to follow. Here goes Falkingham. Ray blocks the run. So right now it's really a team of 2. Ray and Buys trying to control this field. But now they're going to have their hands full, Jess, with Daniel Falkingham and Matthew Baker. Josh Cruz right now in 6th position behind Buys. As he goes down the backstretch, Cruz is going to give a little push to the Buys Toyota Camry here. And let's pick up these speeds as well. And the speeds right here, 195 miles an hour in the corner. These guys going fast here tonight. 16 laps to go. And this Cruz, it's 197 miles an hour there in the trioval. Nearly 200 here as we get into the entrance of turn number 1. A fast, lightning fast track here tonight.
How many cars do we still have on the lead lap?
So on your lead lap, it's looking like we have about, I believe, 27-ish cars on the lead lap. We do have quite a few cars off pace here tonight. Max Steinda right now way off pace, and Max Steinda is going to be looking for a caution as now he's all the way back in 27, trying to hang on the lead lap. Back up front, it's 2x2 through the trioval. Falkingham now leads the outside lane. He's side by side with Malik Ray in here into 1. He clears to the bottom. Now on the top, it's the 44, Josh Cruz. As Austin Green has surfaced back up here as well. So with 14 laps to go, will we see this all play out here tonight? This race so far, really good. 3 caution flags if you're just joining us. Another driver here tonight, Jess, who has raced really well. It is Ricky Stewart. He's currently 11th, started in the 24th spot tonight. So Ricky Stewart doing a really good job. As he's behind J.R. Miller at the moment, working in that middle lane. And he's up to 9th spot now. So a big mover in this race. So the number 11 is going to file in line here as he gives him a shot here in the later stages. Malik Ray, though, is going to make it 3 wide underneath Ricky Stewart. We have seen some really good racing, Jess. These next-gen cars putting on a heck of a race.
It has been a really good race.
Oh, we got a big wreck.
Wrecking.
Big wreck in the middle. Charlie Morgan's involved. Sean Corbett through the grasses. Carson Freeman. Joe Horta involved as well. Morgan, heavy damage to the front end. I believe Danny Barnes is limping as well around the track. I'll tell you, that's going to benefit the most, Jess. That's Max Steinda, because Max Steinda was back in 27th trying to hang on to the lead lap. Now, not only is he going to do that, he's going to skip ahead of a lot of drivers now needing to fix damage. So he gets that timely caution here. That's the 4th caution flag of tonight's race.
That's going to really benefit him.
The drivers now in the back stretch, they're going to pick up the pace car. As Daniel Falkingham and Austin Green, your top 2. Josh Cruz up there as well. Dylan Jones, Malik Ray. So caution flag out.
Looks like Kenny McAuliffe got into Vondell a little bit.
Yeah, let's go back here, Jess, on the replay and see what you saw here in the back of this pack. As Jess sees Kenny McCullough involved, and he was Charlie Morgan. There goes Joe Horta. Right off the nose, that's Morgan across the nose of Barnes. Corbett back involved again as well. I believe the 27 might have not escaped this. That's Joey Allen. Possible he did. Andrew Santo goes through the grass. Let's back this up here and see where this all starts. Keep an eye on the 03. That's Kenny McCullough on the bottom behind the 69 of Morgan. We're 3 wide here. Buys at the top of your screen. They're going to go 4 wide for a second. Baker's going to have to go low. And Baker does go low. He's kind of trapped. They're 4 wide. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like Morgan maybe just lost it. See if we can get a chopper view of this. Very interesting here, Jess. We'll see on the chopper if we can get a better vantage point. Keep an eye right here. Yeah, you know, it looks like Morgan washes up on exit. And when they go back to get realigned, he kind of goes lower, and Kenny kind of just hooks him. I don't think Kenny meant anything there. It just was kind of a weird push when they got off the corner, and that's what brings out, like I said, our 4th caution flag. Is Danny Barnes involved? We'll see if we can watch here from the cockpit of Joey Allen, because Joey Allen, I think, did a good enough job to avoid most of this accident here. And this is real time here with Joey Allen. Yeah, and a great view. Joey Allen unscathed right through it. A great drive for the 27 machine as he'll improve his positions here and definitely get a better starting spot here in the later stages of this race. We go back live and we pick up the field. Daniel Falkingham here in the trial. I believe we'll get the one to go signal here this time by for the simratmarket.com. Make sure if you're just joining us, head over to simratmarket.com. Type in the code word PGR eSports for 10% off your first purchase. Pace car lights out. As we are ready to go back green here next time by. Daniel Falkingham, familiar spot for him here up in the front. As he has led 6 laps now tonight. As he tries to bring home his first Stars and Stripes victory. And I know the series hasn't been too long, but it's been long enough now that you would have seen the 39 machine of Daniel Falkingham in victory lane, but interviewing him last week, he's just eluding him a little bit right now. And you'd have to think that's in the back of Daniel's mind to try to get this win here in the Stars and Stripes series. We'll see if he can do that. Cruz is going to start to his outside. Austin Green here behind Falkingham. Dylan Jones now up the 4th. Right now, Malik Ray up the 5th. You got J.R. Miller right here as well in the 78. He's up the 6th. As we get set to go racing here. Within the last 10 laps, who's going to earn their stripe tonight? Pace car will hit pit lane once again. And into the restart zone. Flagman is dropping the green flag again. And we are racing with 9 laps to go. Falkingham, a great jump here. Austin Green's going to follow him right up to that preferred lane. Malik Ray looking for a dance partner here on the bottom. Will he get help from Ricky Stewart? Remains to be seen. 3 wide down the backstretch. That third lane starting farther back at the moment. We've seen it work tonight, and I'm sure we're going to see it work again as it keeps gaining numbers and gaining steam. Austin Green all over the back bumper now as he's getting pushed by Josh Cruz. Austin Green has really nowhere to go as he's pushing, being pushed. They're going to make it work, though, here in the tri-oval. .33 now of 40. Your leader, Daniel Falkingham. 4 caution flags tonight, 7 lead changes. Malik Ray now, he's on the outside lane. He's back with his dance partner, Jackson Buys. Matthew Baker heads to the bottom of the track. He gets in front of Kenny McCullough. Josh McCullough up top. He's got some front end damage. You see his nose punched pretty good on the 05. We'll see if that affects him here in the later stage, but it's not going to matter right now. We have a big wreck in the middle of the track. Josh Cruz involved. Wow, so is McCullough. Charlie Morgan again. Caution out for the 5th time tonight. I believe Matthew Baker involved. Austin Green, a ton of damage to the 87. Wheel damage. He's crab walking through. He'll barely be able to get this thing back to pit lane. And Austin Green tonight, unfortunately, won't make it back. And he barely can drive. He's going to slide actually off the banking all the way down to the apron. Mark Vondell again. Austin Green's going to tow. And Jess, another big one here at Talladega. Let's go back here to that replay. And Austin Green going to get turned here. And I'll tell you what, Austin Green, he just didn't have anywhere to go the last couple laps. We've been seeing him. I mean, he's pushing. He's second in line, and he's behind leader. He's going to have to push. There's been a lot of drivers, though, behind him, shoving him. And I'll tell you what, it's not easy to drive with all those guys pushing the way that they are. And we'll see if we can get another vantage point here of this yellow flag with Austin Green involved. And here we go. Watch Josh Cruz in the 44. He's starting to go up a little bit. And, yeah, he's going to just keep drifting up. Yeah, that's what's going to cause the caution here. The 44 is Josh Cruz. I mean, you saw Dylan Jones and you saw the 78 of J.R. Miller there, and these guys are pushing as good as they can. Cruz just starts drifting up, offsetting himself. And there's really nothing. Ooh, Kenny McCullough gets involved. Cruz goes up. I believe somebody's going to take a big hit here. Yeah, Charlie Morgan comes together with Nathan Harper. Joe Horta back involved. And here they come barreling into Austin Green. Richard Elliott a part of this one. So, man, some really big wrecks here tonight. Matthew Baker involved as well. It looks like he'll be okay. That ERA Omega Cup car powered by PGR eSports looks to still be clean. As Austin Green still on pit lane. As Daniel Falkingham leads it here. As counting down the laps here. Not going to be too many left. Austin Green on pit lane, most likely not going to be able to come back into this race. That'll end, I believe, his campaign. On pit lane as well as Kenny McCullough Jr., Richard Elliott, Charlie Morgan, Josh Cruz, as is Joe Horta, Neil Meadows, and the list goes on here tonight. It has been a damage-filled race. Cody Niegels went out early, as he did last night in March Madness. A bad night for Matthew Patton. And, man, half the field nearly torn up here tonight. But we are in for a good finish here. The pace car lights do go out. I want to thank everyone for coming out and watching here tonight. A good viewer count on a Friday night for the Stars and Stripes series. And the guy I'm hoping can get to victory lane, Max Dinda, as I am sponsoring this man here tonight. We saw him get jinxed by me once already. I'm going to try to reverse jinx him here tonight. Currently in 8th. Couple more spots. He'll be in the payout positions, the 48th. Trying to make his way back up front. But it is going to crank up here. The action is going to crank up when we go back green. Remember, if we need it here tonight, one green-white checker. But a lot of drivers here tonight have been caught up in an accident. Appreciate Devil Charger in the chat tonight. Doing my best I can. Still getting used to my new controls. So whenever I change a bunch of stuff, it gets me a little flustered. Gets me off my call just a bit. So pardon me for any hiccups here tonight. As we get set to go back green here. Daniel Falkingham and Malik Ray. Who would have thunk it? Right here on the front row. Jackson Buys, Josh McCullough, J.R. Miller, Tucker McClendon. That's your top 6. Into the restart zone we go. As the green flag is back out. 5 laps to go. There'll be 4 laps to go here at the line. Two by two at the front. We've seen these drivers really aggressive from the very start here tonight. Mark Vondel's looking third already. Buys leads the bottom with Miller and Dinda. Josh McCullough now has put his name in the hat to go to victory lane, as has Tucker McClendon. Getting frisky farther back in front of Matthew Baker is, I believe, Dylan Jones and Mark Vondel right now. They're all just trying to make their way. I believe they're looking to make a third lane. And they do. Mark Vondel keeps peeking out. He wants to go. Falkingham still leads. He's got Ray behind him. With a good free for Malik Ray. We're going to have a big wreck. Big wreck in the middle of the racetrack. Around goes the 11. Morgan around again, as is Danny Barnes. 6th caution flag of the night. And that'll put us in NASCAR overtime. So another caution flag here. And we'll go back here. And there it is in the middle of your screen with Danny Barnes, who gets turned. And he goes up the racetrack here as Barnes. There goes the 11 as well. Not too many others caught up. Charlie Morgan again. He's gone for quite a few spins here tonight. That is for sure. We'll watch it again. We'll get a closer vantage point here in the chopper cam. I'm going to keep an eye on the 15 machine here of Brian Kaiser. He's getting pushed by Santo. He's going to wash up the racetrack. Santo's going to kind of fall. They're going to go right into Danny Barnes. So nothing there from Nathan Harper. Nothing he could do. Danny Barnes goes around. It's going to hit the outside wall. Baker and Dylan Jones, they're going to do a great job. They're going to go right underneath. There goes the 11 spinning, like we said, Ricky Stewart. And there you have it. Another caution flag. It's been just that kind of night. Well, this will be it. We're going to rack them just one more time tonight. We'll be doing NASCAR overtime. Black flag here for, I believe, Tim White. Not sure why. You are watching the Dega Pros Stars and Stripes series. You can catch it here live on the PGR eSports Network each and every Friday night. John Ward, the promoter here in Dega Pros, in conjunction with PGR eSports, to bring you these live broadcasts weekly. We've hit peak viewership here tonight, as we usually do on Friday nights at the very end of the race. Everyone wants to come out and find out who will go to victory lane. And there are a ton of drivers up here that can do it. The problem for them right now is trying to find their way around Daniel Falkingham, Malik Ray, and Jackson Buys. And Malik right now trying to devise a plan with his teammate Buys on how they can snatch the victory here from Daniel Falkingham, who, like we mentioned earlier, looking for his first win here in the Stars and Stripes series. But there are some hungry drivers in this pack. Josh McCullough, he's sitting in 4th. He's up 16 positions. How about J.R. Miller? Up 6 positions here tonight on a new team. He's led a lap tonight. He's up to the 5th position. So we'll see if J.R. Miller can find his way to the promised land. Tucker McClendon. And I'll tell you what, Tucker McClendon had quite the run in the PGR 500 this past year. He's currently in 7th. He's up 20 positions from the start of the race. You see it right there. Tucker McClendon making his way up to the front. He sits in a catch position right now. The question will be, can he hold on to it? I don't think we have seen the last of a wreck, and we're going to run it out to the end here, that's for sure. Keep in mind, Josh McCullough does have some front-end damage here. He's going to start here in, I believe, in the top 6. Well, here we go. You all came to see it here tonight. We are going to head to NASCAR overtime. It'll be a green-white checker for all the marbles here tonight. Well, I don't know. You got to go with the chalk here, Falkingham, Ray, or Buys. But if you want the underdog to win, there's quite a few of them here in the top 10. We've seen a lot happen tonight. So don't count it out. We can get a first-time winner here tonight. And I'm ready to see who that winner is going to be. We'll see if that top lane can stick with it here. You see still that front end damage there to Josh McCullough. See if it affects him at all here on this last restart of the race. And here we go. One final time on Friday night. The pace car heads to pit lane. Two of the best in the business on the front row. Falkingham, though, has Malik Ray's teammate behind him. That should be interesting here. To the restart zone for the final time tonight. Falkingham, Ray, green flag, back in the air. And what a run here. Eyes is going to follow Malik Ray right up the racetrack to the top. Here goes that high lane. They're going to start bearing that bottom lane. Baker goes out with Dylan Jones. There goes Carson Freeman. 3 wide. Tucker McClendon looks to go high as well. If we get to the... Well, actually, no, this is it. This is it no matter what happens here. Falkingham leads the middle. They have the surge at the moment. Here comes Mark Fondell. He's going to lead the bottom lane. Freeman's still on the top. The bottom lane, though, right now, just not making any headway. They'll see if J.R. Miller can help him out. Falkingham, he is going to take the white flag. 1 lap to go here. Who is going to blink? Because right now, Falkingham, I think, would be a sitting duck with 2 teammates behind him. But he's going to do everything he can to stay in the tracks here. of these two ahead. Andrew Zanto, they're going to wreck farther back, a big wreck. Dinda's going to get through it. Falkingham, he is going to give up the lead to the teammates here. And there goes Jackson Buys off turn number 4. Buys your leader. Falkingham going to the back. Is Malik Ray going to peek out, or is he going to stay behind his teammate? They go 2 by 2 to the line. It's Jackson Buys who gets it done at Talladega. Jackson Buys leads 7 laps tonight, and most importantly, the last one. We'll show it to you once again as they were able to get around Daniel Falkingham, who ends up in the 5th position. Josh McCullough finds his way to the podium in 3rd. Nathan Harper, a good night in 4th. But Jackson Buys the man who gets it done here tonight. I'll tell you what, Jackson Buys has really raced well here in the last couple months. Unfortunate scenario for him in the PGR 500. But hopefully one day he can be back there, as Jackson Buys is very capable of winning each race he enters. And tonight, a great job, him and Malik Ray, to get the job done. That's for sure. The 33 to victory lane here, as he is having some fun here, celebrating his big win. Teammate went after him there, coming to the line, but a little too late for Malik Ray, but I'm sure they'll take this one. 1 and 2 finish here tonight. It's Jackson continues to burn them down here. There's your podium finishers. In 3rd place tonight, Josh McCullough. And 2nd place for Malik Ray. And your race winner here tonight, obviously, Jackson Buys. We'll drive off here and keep celebrating the big win, as we'll look for Josh McCullough here. See if we can get an interview with Josh. Don't see him up here at the moment. So we will get a word with your 2nd place finisher as we continue to watch Jackson Buys celebrate. We'll bring up the 2nd place finisher here tonight, and that is Malik Ray. You have a copy.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Man, doing pretty good, man. Still watching Jackson Buys out here celebrating his big victory tonight. And I'll tell you what, man, you guys did a great job. And, you know, a lot of people talked, and I hope a lot of people are still watching this. A lot of people talk about these big teams and all this and that, but I'll tell you what, you guys did it with 2 guys tonight, and you did it at the front of the field. And sometimes that's all it takes, is 2 guys to tango and have really good cohesion. And you don't always need an army of 8. I know a lot of people throw that around there a lot, but tonight, Malik, you and Jackson ran together up front most of the night, and when it counted most, found your way around Daniel Falkingham. Just walk us through that combination of you and the 33.
He's a really good partner of mine. He's a good friend of mine too. Ever since he's been added to the team, I mean, me, him, I mean, really, honestly, all of us have worked together, really well at the end of races. We try to make sure that we take care of each other. So we have a lot of trust and stuff in one another. And I think that was just, it was a good showcase of that tonight. I tried to stay around him. He tried to stay around me, and, it worked out for us at the end.
Yeah, I really did a great job here tonight. I know it was a little chaotic race here tonight in the next gen here at Talladega. It looked like a lot of big runs. Looks like you guys were able to move around the racetrack a lot into that 3rd lane as well. And it could be a precursor as well to possibly the SummerSlam event this summer, as it's heavily getting leaned toward this car. What are your thoughts about the next gen car here at Talladega?
Me personally, I'm not a huge fan of it. I love the next gen and stuff like that. In this car, I feel like it's really easy to get nose damage in, you know, randomly at that. So I was trying to be easy, like, like with my pushes all night. Obviously, like on the white flag, it's kind of just, you're just, I don't know. I mean, you're just wide open at that point. But I'm not a huge fan of this car. I'd much rather have, like the Gen 6 or the truck because you can push in that and not have to worry about getting nose damage at any point. So.
Well, hey, nose damage doesn't matter for you much here tonight. A really good payday, too. Looks like way more than a full field based off the Flyers. So you guys get the job done 1 and 2 here tonight. And before we let you go, Malik, anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah, shout out to everyone in the top 5. I know all of us race together on a regular week, and all of us race clean there. Joshua, Jackson, Nate, Dan, Max, obviously, all of us race clean. So I was really happy about that.
All right, Malik, we'll go celebrate that P2 here tonight, and I'm assuming we'll talk to you very soon.
Shout out to Roger Shelton at 10 Solutions, by the way.
10 Solutions, Robert Shelton. We'll get that shout out as well again for him. And we're going to look for Josh McCullough. I do not believe he is here. So we're going to bring up the race winner here tonight, and that is going to be none other than Jackson Buys. And Jackson Buys, we'll bring him up here. Do you have a copy, bud?
Yeah, I got a copy.
All right, man. Well, your camera's black for some reason, so I don't think I can pull you up here. But, hey, you get to victory lane here tonight. Great teamwork. We were just talking to Malik Ray about that teamwork. And you guys get a lot of bad raps sometimes for having 5, 6, 7, 8 guys. But, I mean, you put you and Malik Ray in a race together, and really, sometimes it just takes 2. And that's all it took here tonight, Jackson. Walk us through that race and the relationship and cohesion you have with Malik Ray.
I mean, throughout the whole race, Malik had given us a strategy that the reason why he thinks we're starting to get being beat by Baker and Jack Shack and them is because we spend the early parts of the race sitting back, lagging back, just trying to stay alive, and we let all of them get up front, and then we're fighting to just try and maintain and stay up front and get up front at the end. So our objective this race was to just stay up there and to keep the track position all race, and I think that's something I did really well at. I don't think I left the top 10 the whole race. I might be wrong, but we just stayed up there. We stayed in contention all night, and then once we were good on fuel, there was a point where we kind of got shot to the back after we got hot on the inside and we couldn't clear up, but we got back up there, and I got a good restart with Dan, and we stayed basically committed the whole way into 3, and from there it was just me and Malik making sure we finished 1-2.
Yeah, it looked like a great job there. Josh McCullough made a good run as well. He finished 3rd right behind you guys. And talk to us a little bit about, I know we had unfortunate circumstances here, not too long ago, but hopefully sooner than later you'll be able to come back, obviously, from those. Obviously, I don't think any intentions out of yourself and any mistakes you made. But, hey, man, you go out there, you keep proving your worth, you keep racing like this, being respectful in the community. Obviously, good things are going to come your way. We'd still want to see you in those big races, obviously, in the future, because obviously you're capable of winning each and every race you are in, and it's a testament to the amount of dedication, and you put into the craft, especially here in the community. And, it's good to see you come out here on a Friday night and, move past all that and keep trying to move forward to get back to kind of where you want to be. But walk us through as well, or talk to us a little bit about, just not only this money racing, but how much iRacing means to you, and look what you're looking to do with it.
For what iRacing means to me, it's a form of what I want to do with my life. I mean, of course, I'm sitting here on the sim at 16 years old, and I've got kids that are already racing small little cars, 10 years younger than me. But anyone who I'd be competing with now on the track has been racing for more than half of my life, so they've got a major jump on me. But for me, this is a lot of practice that I've got over the years, and I've been in this community for 3 years. I've been in this community since I was 13, so I've known a lot of people. I've made a lot of friends. Had you have told me back in July of last year that I'd be working with Malik Ray and Malik Ray's team, I would have probably told someone I was crazy, because back then I wasn't that good. But it goes to show what you can really do in half a year, or just over half a year, and how much you can improve. And I think Malik helped a lot with that. Also, I noticed that I started running a lot better. His strategy's great. I mean, so I give a lot of credit to him and his team, and them for giving me friends. But unfortunately, what happened in the 500, I just got to kind of look at that and just kind of put that in the rear view. I don't like how everything went down, but that's how it played out. So I look forward to just trying to be good in the community and trying to get back into PGR.
Yeah, and I think you will, man. You are an excellent driver, a good class act here, and someone that is always just kind of keeping their mouth closed and going out there and racing. And I think that's what more people should follow suit with. So we'd love to see you hopefully back there soon too. But hey, man, in the meantime, you're doing good just about everywhere else, and watching you there as well on the replay here. We got you on the big blowing up here on the screen on the broadcast. So I'm over here trying to improve my craft too, so it's been kind of fun to play around and try to make these broadcasts better for you guys and to really showcase your talents here. So we're able to show you, celebrate here on the racetrack too. It means a lot, I'm sure, to cross the checkered flag first. So yeah, man, thank you, for coming out here and racing tonight. Thank you for the interview, and hopefully we'll be talking to you again soon.
Yeah, no problem, Mike. Thank you too.
All right, Jackson Buys gets it done yet again here, this time in the Stars and Stripes series. An excellent run for the young man as we go back here live. Jackson Buys, you can see the smile on his face. He is one happy camper as Jackson Buys rides off into the sunset and first place here tonight. We'll get our final standings here up and onto your screen. And go through the finishing order here tonight in the Stars and Stripes series. Jackson Buys tonight on the top of the board. Malik Ray finishes in second. Josh McCullough in third. Nathan Harper, a fourth place finish tonight. Daniel Falkingham, a top five. Max Dinda, all the way backed up. Hey, that's my sponsored driver. Payout position in sixth. Ricky Stewart finishes in seventh. Tucker McClendon in eighth. Cooper Goodwin in ninth. And Joe Horta rounds out your top 10. In 11th here tonight, it's Richard Elliott. Danny Barnes finishes in 12th. Kenny McCullough Jr. in 13th. Joey Allen in 14th. Tim White finishes in 15th. Charlie Morgan in 16th. J.R. Miller in 17th. And Matthew Baker finishes in 18th. In 19th, it's Sean Corbett, with Carson Freeman rounding out your top 20. In 21st here tonight, it's Brian Kaiser. Andrew Zanto finishes in 22nd. Dylan Jones in 23rd. Mark Vondell, 24th. Austin Green finishes in 25th. Josh Cruz in 26th. Neil Meadows finishes in 27th. Josh Bonwell in 28th. Finishing 29th here tonight, it's Jimmy Reynolds, and Dustin Cohen finishes in 30th. 31st here tonight, Justin Melikar. In 32nd, it's Chase Mastretta. 33rd tonight, Cameron Craighead. Cody Neagles went out early in 34th. Aubrey Thompson finishes in 35th. Matthew Patton in 36th. And Larry McDonald all the way there in the back in 37th. Position. That's your 37 car field here tonight. The action was packed from start to finish, and Jackson Buys goes to victory lane here for the Stars and Stripes series. Well, another good one here, and we'll be back with everyone soon here live on the PGR eSports Network. We appreciate you joining us. We hope everyone has a great weekend. Stay safe, have some fun, that's for sure. Spend some time with the families, and we'll see you all next week here live on the PGR eSports Network. For myself, Michael Triscaro, have a great night.